Colorado signs Tennessee offensive tackle transfer Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson is a JUCO product, was once a top-ranked JUCO product. He leaves Tennessee after Tennessee signs David Sanders, top tackle prospect, and I ultimately think that may have played a part in it. But Colorado gains a big-time acquisition on the offensive line. Matt, what are your thoughts on this acquisition for the Buffs here, and how do you feel about it?
They just keep adding pieces. They seem to be attracting a lot of SEC transfers, right? Caliber type guys. I guess my question would be, why is he leaving Tennessee? But then again, if he's a good player, who cares?
Right.
Not everybody in the transfer portal is awesome, and not everybody on the team is bad. So there's give and take. We've seen a lot of people come in from the transfer portal that didn't do anything. And we've seen a lot of people come from the transfer portal that did everything. So hopefully this kid can just walk in and help immediately. I don't know who the starting five are going to be. I'm sure one of them is going to be Seton and then four other guys. So I'd imagine the Memphis kid will be one of the starters. We'll see.
Here's a potential starting five. Shout out to Scott Proctor over at DMVR. Go ahead.
That's a big-ass offensive line. Look, I'm just going to say this right now. If we can't run the football with that offensive line, we don't want to run the ball. And I know I've said that in the past, and everybody loses their fucking minds. But I will say that that's a huge offensive line. And you have Marshall Falk, and you have great offensive line coaches, three of them, or at least one. I know one of them is great. I don't know about the other two. We'll see. If they can't run the ball now, they don't want to run the ball. And that's fine, I guess. That's their choice. So we'll see, bro. I mean, this looks like a pretty big physical offensive line to me. But again, we'll see how they all come together.
Definitely. We'll see how they all come together. Matt, you mentioned Colorado attracting SEC talent. Another Tennessee Volunteer coming over to Boulder. Tennessee transfer DB safety, I believe John Slaughter commits to Colorado, 6'2", 195, played in 22 career games for Tennessee. Matt, like you mentioned, Colorado and Prime attracting SEC talent. I think as we've seen, over the last 2 years, Prime's talent he's bringing in, he just keeps stepping it up here. Another SEC acquisition for the Buffs. Any comment here?
Another quality player. So, what's going on at Tennessee? Maybe nothing. Maybe they're just leaving to leave. I don't know how much money is getting thrown at these kids up in Boulder, but it's got to be relatively substantial, I guess, if they're leaving Tennessee to go, knowing how much money Tennessee throws at their guys. But another quality football player that's coming in to get in the mix. So I don't know if there's any guaranteed. I don't know how you can guarantee start anybody. Yeah, you've got so many guys that have come in from the portal and from recruiting that you've got to have open competition, I'm sure. But again, if these guys are being told they're being promised jobs when they walk in, then hey, that works too. I mean, I don't really care who's wearing the uniform anymore. I care just make sure the standard of player is high, make sure that they deserve to be where they're at. We're not taking fucking a bunch of flyers on guys that might be able to play at this level anymore. Not saying Coach Prime ever did that, but that did happen at CU forever. 20 plus years since I stopped playing there, it was, let's just recruit the nice kid from Denver. And, if we don't get the other guys that can play, it's okay. We weren't going to get them anyway. And it was a very victim mentality. That's not the way it works up in Boulder anymore. So they're the hunter and the praise coming to them. So we'll see how it works. This is a huge year for Coach Prime and then everybody to just see if this experiment and this program is going to float without Shador and Travis and Shiloh and everybody else around Coach Prime, where he insulated them, they insulated him. So we'll see what happens now that you've got a bunch of new faces and a bunch of guys who want to come in and go down the same path. So we'll see.
Definitely. Well said, Matt. And I can't wait to see, the Buffs in Colorado era post Shador Travis. I can't wait for our first watch party. Somebody mentioned it in the chat. They're looking forward to it, Matt. I don't know if it'll be Georgia Tech or any other game, but I'm looking forward to the season here as we get closer, almost to May here, Matt. Let's stick on this train. Colorado's bringing in more and more players. I talked about this yesterday with the collegefootballnews.com writer, Pete Futak here, but Colorado signs Florida State transfer wide receiver Hakeem Williams, big body wide receiver, 6'2", 215, pretty fast kid as well here, former 5-star kid as well. Matt, again, more talent to Boulder. Bring him in with Sincere Brown, another transfer wide receiver we talked about a few weeks ago, 6'5", transfer wide receiver. Matt, adding to the wide receiver room here. Any comment?
They can't hurt. They just have 3 wide receivers drafted, so that was the most in the draft this year, which is pretty cool. Look, this kid has got every ounce of wide receiver in him that you're looking for. I mean, he can jump, he can run, he can catch the ball. He's super explosive. Mm-hmm. He did not have a very good quarterback situation last year, so I'd imagine that plays into this.
Sure.
Watching just a couple of clips that you find on this kid online, it's pretty impressive. So I'd like to think that he can come in and apply himself and be a huge part of the offense moving forward. On the other side of the coin, we know how some of these 5-star recruits are. So
true.
I'd like to think that he's not one of those guys, and he's a worker, and he wants to come in and get his job done and just kind of, go play and let the accolades and everything fall to him because of his play, as opposed to being like Cremani or, one of these other 5-stars that's just got their head cemented in their ass and they can't figure out why people have expectations. Well, it's because you're a 5-star recruit. That's why people have such high expectations. So you should want all that smoke if you're a 5-star.
Facts, Matt. Well said. Exactly. Definitely. And, another acquisition in the offense, we're just going to keep it rolling here. Colorado signs Incarnate Word, running back transfer to Kalen Taylor. This kid is also a kick returner. Had a hell of a season here for Incarnate Word this past year. Super dynamic running back to go Colorado's running back room that recently lost Brandon Hood to the transfer portal. Matt, man, I'm pretty excited for this, seeing this kid in Buffs uniform. Any thoughts here? New Buff running back.
Well, this is one of those positions that transition where if you're a good Division II running back, you get around really good players, you're probably going to be a good NFL running back, i.e. like Danny Woodhead, a guy I played with in college, or in the NFL. So I look, this kid's film is outstanding. Obviously, the coaches wouldn't have brought him in if it wasn't. They did lose some backs, and they need to replenish that room. But this kid had to be signed off by Coach Falk as well. So, the ICU is really a hotbed. They do a great job of recruiting a bunch of under-recruited Texas kids that are really good players. So this guy could be the next one. We'll see how he catches the ball out of the backfield. I think that's going to be a big part of whoever's playing running back.
Definitely.
But, again, this is only cool. Oh, look at that. Double pull tight end scissor wrap.
Oh, yeah.
This is only cool if they actually decide to run the ball, bro. Yeah. You can't bring in all these monster offensive linemen and then new running backs and a run-first quarterback and a rookie quarterback and then not run the football. And I understand this is going to be a hater call and everyone's going to jump on me when I say it and all this other fucking bullshit. But, man, again, if they don't run the ball this year, they're choosing not to, and they're doing disservice to their football team for the simple fact that their defense is going to be so explosive and so good. Even with losing Hood, I think they're going to be excellent.
I think they're going to be legitimate defense next year.
I think they're going to be really good. So if you have a really good defense, you can support it by controlling the football and playing a little bit of Kansas State ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. And for everybody that just wants to go out there and video game it, throw the ball over the yard, and if you say anything negative about the quarterback or the coach, or you criticize anything, you're a piece of shit and blah, blah, blah. Can you go watch a different podcast and get the fuck out of my life, please?
Well, yeah, Matt, I like you mentioned, I definitely, if Colorado's bringing in Andre Gerard and Marshall Faulk, bringing in all these massive offensive line transfers, running back transfers, we'd like to see some run game here. We'd like to see some run game variation, like you mentioned, like we saw in that
character